Good evening, everyone. It's a true honor to be here with you today because what we're about to discuss, what we're about to explore, could change the direction of your life. Let me ask you a question to get started. What would it look like if you were to wake up tomorrow and realize that the life you've always wanted, the success you've been dreaming of, was not as far away as you thought? What if, instead of wondering how to get there, you knew exactly what to do every single day to make it happen? Now, I'm not here to tell you some magical secret, some shortcut to success. Success doesn't come that way. It's the result of habits, small, consistent habits that you build day in and day out. You see, success isn't a single event. It's not a one-time occurrence that happens when you get lucky or when the stars align. Success is a habit. And that's what we're going to talk about today, the 7 habits that will transform your life. These aren't just ordinary habits. These are the foundational principles that great men and women have used for centuries. These are the same principles that shaped my life, that turned my journey from struggle to success. And I want to share them with you, not as theory, not as something I read about in a book, but as something I've lived and seen work time and time again. Now, I know that in life, things aren't always easy. You've got your challenges, your distractions, and sometimes you might even feel like giving up. I understand that. But here's the truth. You're only one habit away from changing your life. One habit away from breaking the chains that have been holding you back. So, I want you to listen closely today, not with your ears, but with your heart. Because the ideas we discuss, the habits we explore, are not just for you to understand, they're for you to apply. In a moment, I'll share these 7 habits with you. But first, let's understand the power of them. Each of these habits, when practiced consistently, will take you from where you are now to a place you've only dreamed of. And it doesn't have to be hard. In fact, it's the simplicity of these habits that makes them so powerful. So as we go through these, ask yourself, how can I take action on this today? Because transformation isn't just about learning new ideas. It's about applying them and turning them into habits. So let's get started. The first habit I want to share with you is this: taking full responsibility for your life. Now, let me tell you something that might be hard to hear, but it's absolutely crucial if you want to unlock your potential. You are responsible for your life. Not your parents, not your boss, not your circumstances, you. The moment you accept responsibility for where you are, you take back the power to change it. I remember when I first came across this idea, I was struggling. I had so many excuses. I blamed the economy. I blamed my past. I blamed everyone else but myself. And you know what? Nothing changed. It wasn't until I stood in front of the mirror and realized that I alone was responsible for my life that things started to shift. And let me tell you, once you make that decision, everything changes. It's a powerful moment when you realize that you have the power to shape your own destiny. No one else has the control you do. This habit of taking full responsibility is the cornerstone of personal success. You see, responsibility doesn't mean taking the blame for everything that goes wrong. It means taking ownership of your decisions, your actions, and your future. And when you own it, you stop waiting for things to change around you. You stop looking for excuses and you start looking for solutions. You start asking, what can I do today to move me closer to my goals? I'll tell you, this is not just about taking responsibility for the big things. It's about the small decisions you make every single day. What time you wake up, how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, and what habits you cultivate. Those decisions are all yours. You have the power to change them. And when you do, you change the course of your life. Think about this. How many times have you blamed someone or something for where you are today? Maybe you blamed a difficult childhood. Maybe you blamed your job. Or maybe you blamed your environment. Let me ask you, has any of that changed your life for the better? Probably not. Because as long as you keep giving your power away, you can never fully embrace the opportunities in front of you. Here's what I want you to do today. I want you to take a moment right now and write down one area of your life where you've been making excuses. Just one area. Then I want you to take full responsibility for it. Whether it's your health, your finances, your relationships, whatever it is. Say, I am responsible for this. I can change this. I will change this. And here's the key. Once you take responsibility, you get to choose what comes next. The past doesn't have to define you. What matters is what you decide to do today, moving forward. You're no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your own life. You see, successful people don't sit around waiting for life to hand them what they want. They take action, they take responsibility for what they can control, and work tirelessly to improve the rest. And that's what I want for you. When you own your life, you'll realize just how much power you have to shape your future. So take a moment right now. Take responsibility for your life, for your future, and for your success. Now that you've taken responsibility for your life, let's talk about the next crucial step, setting clear and defined goals. Without goals, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly, hoping to end up somewhere successful. But here's the truth. Success doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of deliberate action toward a specific destination. You see, goals are the GPS for your life. They give you direction, purpose, and focus. Without them, you'll find yourself reacting to life instead of creating the life you want. Let me tell you something, my friends. There's no shortage of good intentions. Everybody has them, but intentions alone won't get you anywhere. You need a clear goal, something specific that you can move toward every day. When I first began my journey, I had a dream. But dreams without goals are just fantasies. You've got to write them down. You've got to define them. You've got to give them a time frame, and you've got to break them down into actionable steps. Clear goals give you a map. They tell you where to go and how to get there. Without them, you're wandering through life, hoping for the best, but never really getting anywhere. I'll tell you this, most people fail to set goals because they're afraid. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid of the effort it will take. They're afraid of the commitment. But here's the thing. You can't hit a target you haven't set. If you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you've arrived? If you don't have a target, then every day is just another random collection of activities with no real purpose. And let me tell you, that's not how you build success. Take a look at your life right now. Where do you want to be a year from today? 5 years? 10 years? And I'm not talking about just wishing it will happen. I'm talking about taking control. Where are you aiming your energy? Where are you focusing your attention? What are you working toward? Here's a simple exercise to get you started. Take a piece of paper and write down 3 goals that are important to you right now. And don't just write vague things like I want to be happy or I want to be successful. Be specific. If your goal is to get in shape, then write, I will lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months. If it's financial, write, I will save $500 per month for the next year. If it's personal growth, write, I will read 1 book per month for the next 12 months. Once you've written your goals down, break them into small, manageable steps. If your goal is to lose 10 pounds, your first step might be to start walking for 30 minutes every day. If you're saving money, your first step might be to set up an automatic transfer to your savings account. Actionable steps are key. They turn your goals from dreams into reality. But here's the most important part. Commit to them. Make them non-negotiable. People who achieve success don't make excuses. They don't let life get in the way. They know exactly what they want, and they pursue it relentlessly, no matter what obstacles stand in their way. Let me ask you this. What are your goals right now? Are they clear and defined? Have you broken them down into actionable steps? If not, it's time to start. Success requires clarity. You cannot be vague about where you're going. Get specific. Get focused. And remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish. As Jim Rohn often said, the major value in life is not what you get, it's who you become in the process. So let your goals shape you. Let them challenge you. Let them stretch you. And in the process, you'll become the person who can achieve them. Now, let's talk about the third habit that can truly transform your life. Discipline. Let me ask you this. What is the one thing that separates the successful from the unsuccessful, the achievers from the dreamers? It's discipline. I'll tell you, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. But what is discipline? Discipline is not punishment. It's not about being hard on yourself. Discipline is about commitment. It's about doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making the right choices day after day, no matter the distractions or temptations that come your way. It's about being reliable to yourself, to your goals, and to your future. You see, every day we face a choice. You have a choice to either follow your impulses or take control and stay disciplined. And it's the small choices that count. Let me tell you, you can either spend your time mindlessly scrolling through your phone, or you can invest that time in learning something new, building a skill, or taking steps toward your goals. The choice is yours. And it's made in the little moments. Let me tell you about a lesson I learned early on in my life. When I was just starting out, I was no different than most people. I had dreams, I had big ideas, but I didn't have the discipline to back them up. I was inconsistent. I'd work hard for a few days, then slack off. And guess what? My results reflected that. But once I committed to daily discipline, whether it was waking up early, reading, exercising, or sticking to my plans, everything changed. Discipline is what makes you consistent. And consistency is what turns effort into results. I can promise you, if you want to change your life, it won't be through bursts of intense work or motivation that comes and goes. It's through daily discipline, small actions taken every single day that lead to big results over time. Here's a powerful way to think about it. Imagine you're trying to build a wall. Every day you lay one brick. It doesn't look like much, right? But over time, those small actions add up, and before you know it, you have a solid wall. The same goes for your life. The small things you do consistently will build the foundation for your success. Now, let me give you a practical exercise. I want you to identify one area in your life where you're lacking discipline. It could be your health, your finances, or even your personal growth. Whatever it is, commit to taking one small action every single day that aligns with your goal in that area. For example, if your health is the area you want to improve, start by committing to exercise for 20 minutes each day. If it's your finances, start saving a small percentage of your income every month. Whatever it is, commit to it, and don't let yourself off the hook. Hold yourself accountable. Here's what I can promise you. If you practice daily discipline in the small things, you'll begin to see massive results. You'll look back a year from now and realize that those small, consistent efforts were the foundation for everything you've accomplished. And you'll begin to build confidence in yourself because you'll know that you can rely on yourself to follow through. The great Jim Rohn used to say, the major key to your better future is you, and discipline is the key that unlocks that future. It's what will help you turn your goals into reality, no matter how big or small they may be. So today, make the commitment. Start practicing discipline in the small things and let those small things build into something remarkable. Now let's move to the next habit, one that will multiply every step you take, every effort you make, and every goal you pursue. And that habit is this: become a lifelong learner. Let me tell you, if you ever stop learning, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, your life stops expanding. You start shrinking into old habits, old patterns, old limitations. But the day you decide to keep learning, that's the day your future begins to open up again. You see, learning is not something you finish when school ends. Learning is the engine of your growth. Learning is your ticket to a better life. I've often said, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. And I stand by that today more than ever. Because life will pay you whatever you demand of it. But it all depends on the value you bring. And the way you increase your value is by increasing your knowledge, your skills, your mindset. Let me share something from my early years. When I met my mentor, he said to me, Jim, if you want to be wealthy and happy, learn more than everyone else. Read more than everyone else. Think more than everyone else. And so I did. I read books, I listened to audio programs, I asked questions, I studied successful people, and little by little, brick by brick, I built a new mind, and that new mind built me a new life. Becoming a lifelong learner means you make education part of your daily routine. You don't have to spend hours at a time. Just a few minutes a day can change your life. You'd be surprised how much you can learn in 15 minutes. Read a chapter, listen to a podcast, review your notes, pick up wisdom from someone who's walked the path before you. Now, let me give you a little secret. One of the greatest forms of learning is learning from people, especially those who have achieved the things you want to achieve. Success leaves clues. If you study those clues, they'll guide you to the same destinations. But you have to be humble enough to learn. You have to be willing to say, teach me, show me, help me grow. Here's the challenge I want to give you. For the next 30 days, commit to reading at least 10 to 15 minutes a day. Choose a book that can help you in an area you want to grow in, health, finances, relationships, leadership, spirituality, and stick with it. Turn your car into a classroom, your commute into a seminar, your quiet moments into a university. You'll be amazed at how much your mind will expand. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend feeding your mind compared to how much time you spend feeding your distractions? Be honest with yourself. If you want a better life, you must give your mind better material. Remember this. The more you learn, the more you become. And the more you become, the more life you unlock. Learning opens the doors that discipline pulls you through. Learning shapes the goals that responsibility helps you achieve. Learning fuels every habit we're discussing today. So make it a lifelong habit. Not something you do once in a while, but something that becomes part of the rhythm of your life. Because when you stop learning, you stop living. But when you make learning a daily habit, your life becomes a journey of constant expansion, new ideas, new opportunities, new horizons. Now let's talk about the most precious resource you have. The one thing you cannot get back once it's gone. Your time. I want you to listen closely when I say this. Time is your most valuable asset. It's the one thing that no matter how hard you try, you cannot buy more of. You can earn more money, you can build more relationships, but you cannot make more time. So how you spend it will determine the course of your life. You've heard it before, but I'm going to say it again. Time management is life management. If you can master your time, you can master your life. If you can't, well, you'll spend your days drifting, reacting to the demands of the world around you, never really taking control of your own destiny. Let me tell you something that changed my life early on. I learned that every minute of my day counted. And once I realized that, I stopped wasting time. You see, time doesn't wait for anyone. It keeps moving, whether you're ready for it or not. So, the key to success is making every minute count, choosing to invest your time wisely instead of letting it slip away on distractions, procrastination, or mindless activities. But how do you actually master your time? Well, it begins with planning. You've heard the saying, failing to plan is planning to fail. I can't emphasize this enough. If you don't take the time to plan your day, the day will take you. You'll spend your time reacting instead of being proactive. You'll run from one task to another without ever really accomplishing anything meaningful. Now, I want you to think about this. How do you spend your first hour of the day? Do you hit the snooze button and then rush into the chaos of the day? Or do you wake up early with intention, with a plan, ready to start your day on the right foot? Here's the truth. How you start your day sets the tone for the rest of it. If you spend the first hour in a frenzy, you'll carry that energy into everything you do. But if you spend that first hour with purpose, whether it's exercising, planning your day, reading, or simply reflecting your day, will flow with much more focus and clarity. It's all about setting the foundation for success. Let's talk about time blocking for a moment. One of the most powerful tools you can use to master your time is this: blocking out specific times for specific tasks. Instead of multitasking and trying to do everything at once, schedule your day with purpose. Block out time for deep work, time for rest, time for relationships, and time for personal growth. And don't forget to schedule time for yourself. The most successful people I know protect their time with everything they've got. They guard it as if it were the most valuable treasure, because it is. Here's the practical tip I want to give you. Set aside 15 minutes at the end of each day to plan your next day. Write down your top 3 priorities and make sure those are the first things you tackle when you wake up. Don't let your day get hijacked by distractions or urgent but unimportant tasks. Focus on what truly moves the needle towards your goals. If you don't take charge of your time, someone or something else will. But if you do take control, if you decide that you will master your time, then you will also master your life. Success is the sum of small decisions made consistently over time. And those decisions start with how you manage your most valuable resource, your time. So let me ask you, how are you spending your time today? Are you investing it in things that bring you closer to your goals? Or are you allowing distractions to pull you in a million different directions? Remember, your time is a gift, and how you use it will determine what your life looks like 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now. Time is the currency of life. Spend it wisely. Now let's move to the sixth habit, one that has a profound impact not only on your personal growth, but also on your success in every area of life. Cultivate positive relationships. Let me tell you something. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if you want to be successful, happy, and fulfilled, you've got to surround yourself with people who elevate you, challenge you, and help you grow. You see, relationships are the most powerful tools you have. They can either lift you up or drag you down. And it's not just about having a lot of people around you. It's about having the right people. The people who support your dreams, who push you to be better, who encourage you when you feel down, and who challenge you when you need it. I'll tell you, when I started on my own journey, I didn't know anyone who had what I wanted. But I made it a point to seek out people who were where I wanted to be. People who could help me learn and grow. I found mentors, I connected with other successful individuals, and I made sure I was always learning from those who had more experience, more wisdom, more success. And here's what I discovered. The people you surround yourself with have the power to influence your thinking, your habits, and ultimately your life. Think about this for a moment. Look at the people you spend the most time with. What kind of people are they? Are they lifting you up or are they pulling you down? Are they encouraging you to reach your full potential, or are they holding you back with negativity, excuses, and limiting beliefs? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should cut off everyone who doesn't meet your standards. But what I am saying is that you need to be intentional about the relationships you invest in. If you want to be successful, surround yourself with people who are successful. If you want to grow in your career, seek out mentors who have already achieved what you want to achieve. If you want to improve your health, spend time with people who live healthy, active lifestyles. You cannot rise above the level of the people you associate with. But it's not just about what others can do for you. It's also about what you can give. Relationships are a two-way street. If you want to attract the right people into your life, you have to be the kind of person they want to be around. Are you supportive? Are you positive? Are you a good listener? Are you generous with your time and resources? The better you become at giving to others, the better relationships you'll build. Let me give you an actionable tip. Start today by evaluating your relationships. Identify 1 or 2 people who are consistently negative, toxic, or unmotivated. And then ask yourself, how is this relationship impacting my life? If it's pulling you down more than it's lifting you up, you may need to distance yourself. I'm not saying you have to sever the relationship completely, but limit your time and focus more on the people who inspire, challenge, and support you. At the same time, actively seek out people who will help you grow, find mentors, connect with like-minded individuals, and build a network of people who are moving toward the same goals you are. You don't have to do it alone. In fact, you shouldn't. You need a community of people who believe in you, support you, and push you to become the best version of yourself. Remember, success is not just about what you know, it's also about who you know. Surround yourself with the right people, and you'll see your life begin to change. The right relationships can make all the difference in how far you go and how quickly you get there. So, take a moment today and evaluate your circle. Are these the people who will help you become the person you want to be? Are they pushing you to be better? Are they supporting your dreams? If not, it's time to make a change. Start surrounding yourself with people who help you rise. And don't forget, the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. Cultivate self-love, respect, and discipline, because when you do, the right people will be drawn to you. Now, let's move on to the final habit, the one that truly completes the foundation for lasting success. Practice gratitude and give back. Let me tell you something. Gratitude is the secret that transforms a good life into a great life. When you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you begin to see the world differently. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles, blessings instead of burdens, and you start attracting more of what you are grateful for into your life. You see, we live in a world where it's easy to focus on what we don't have, on what's wrong, or on what's missing. But the truth is, what you focus on expands. If you focus on lack, you will attract more lack. If you focus on challenges, you will see more challenges. But when you shift your focus to gratitude, when you focus on what you already have, you will start to see abundance all around you. When I first learned about the power of gratitude, I started with something simple. I would wake up every morning and make a list of 3 things I was grateful for. And I didn't just go through the motions, I felt it. I felt the gratitude in my heart. It might have been something as simple as a roof over my head, the health of my family, or the opportunity to work on my dreams. But let me tell you, as I made this a daily habit, my life began to change. I became more positive, more open to opportunities, and more resilient in the face of challenges. Gratitude is the antidote to negativity. It's the antidote to fear and self-doubt. It shifts your energy, and when you focus on what you're grateful for, you begin to attract more reasons to be grateful. You start recognizing all the good things that are already in your life, and suddenly, the challenges don't seem as overwhelming. They become the stepping stones to something greater. But here's the key. Gratitude isn't just about counting your blessings. It's about giving back. Gratitude is meant to flow outward, not just inward. When you receive, you should also give. And I'm not just talking about giving money or material things. I'm talking about giving your time, your energy, your support, your wisdom. The more you give, the more you open yourself up to receiving. There's a law in the universe. The more you give, the more you get. It's not just a nice saying. It's a universal truth. You see, life doesn't owe you anything. But when you give freely, when you share your blessings, when you contribute to others, you start to build a life that is full of meaning and impact. And it's that impact, that sense of contribution, that makes life truly rich. Let me ask you, how often do you give? I don't just mean give in a transactional way like buying someone a gift or giving a favor in return. I mean, how often do you give without expecting anything in return? How often do you offer kindness, encouragement, or support to someone just because you can? How often do you serve others, knowing that by doing so, you're creating a ripple effect of positivity? Here's an exercise for you. Start a gratitude journal today. Every night before you go to bed, write down 5 things you're grateful for. And as you do, think about how you can give back in some small way. Maybe it's offering a compliment, helping a colleague, donating to a cause, or simply being there for someone who needs it. The more you practice gratitude, the more it will become second nature to you, and the more your life will expand. But don't stop there. Start seeing every opportunity as a chance to give. Give your time. Give your knowledge. Give your love. The more you give, the more you'll receive, not just materially, but emotionally, spiritually, and relationally. And before long, you'll begin to see the law of abundance in action. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. It's a habit you can develop. And when you do, it will transform your life in ways you never imagined. When you give back, when you express gratitude in everything you do, you begin to live a life of abundance, a life of purpose, a life that not only serves you, but serves those around you. And in the end, that's the most fulfilling kind of life there is. So I challenge you, embrace gratitude today. Make it your daily habit. Look for ways to give back, not just when it's convenient, but because it's who you've become. Success is about more than just achieving your goals. It's about creating a life of impact. And that impact starts with gratitude and giving. As we come to the end of this time together, I want you to take a moment and reflect on everything we've covered today. We've talked about 7 habits, 7 simple yet powerful habits that can transform your life. But let me tell you something very important. The value of this information is not in knowing it, it's in doing it. Knowledge alone won't change your life. Action will. So now it's time for you to make the decision to take action. You see, everything you've learned here today is within your control. These habits aren't something you need to wait for the perfect moment to start. You can start right now. Whether it's taking full responsibility for your life, setting clear goals, practicing discipline, becoming a lifelong learner, mastering your time, cultivating positive relationships, or practicing gratitude and giving back. It all starts today. I want you to ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do today to start building these habits? Because it's the small actions repeated over time that lead to big results. Remember, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. It's the little things that will change your life. You don't need to change everything all at once. You just need to make consistent daily progress. Now, as you move forward, understand that there will be challenges. There will be times when it feels hard, when you want to give up, when life throws obstacles in your path. But I want you to remember this. The road to success is never a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, setbacks, and triumphs. The key to success is not about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it. It's about getting back up every time you fall. It's about making the decision to keep going, even when the going gets tough. So, my challenge to you is simple. Start today. Start right now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next week, because if you wait, you may never get started. Start with one habit and commit to practicing it every day. You'll be amazed at how far you can go when you start taking small, consistent steps toward your goals. And remember this, you are in control of your life. You have the power to choose, to grow, and to change. Everything you need is already within you. You've been given everything you need to create the life you want. But it's up to you to take responsibility for it, to set your goals, and to do the work every single day. You don't need to wait for permission. The life you want is waiting for you to show up. So take action today. Make it count. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. And most of all, thank you for your commitment to making today the beginning of your transformation. Now go out there and apply what you've learned. The world is waiting for you to show up with everything you've got. Go live your best life. And remember, success is the sum of small, consistent actions, and it all starts with you. This concludes our journey together. You've got the knowledge. Now it's time to put it into action.